really trying to get with the consistency with this. It's very hard to do when you're a single mom that works full time. Welcome back, my loves. Welcome back to another video. This week's video is going to be week 27 and week 28 of my pregnancy. Nothing crazy new or exciting happened week 27, so I did not do the separate videos for these 2 weeks. I'm combining the 2 weeks together. But if anything ever happens crazily new on a week-to-week basis, then I'll probably do like a separate video for that specific week. But I'm probably just gonna combine the 2 weeks just to make my life a little bit more manageable. And I'm really trying to get with the consistency with this. It's very hard to do when you're a single mom that works full time and works a really weird schedule. So just bear with me. I promise the consistency will come. It will show up. My main focus right now is just making sure that I'm at least creating the content and posting it. Even if it's not in the time frame that I hope, I just really want to be making sure that I'm posting it. So as long as I'm following through with these and actually recording them and posting them, that is my biggest goal. The time consistency, like I said, it will come, it will start to show. It just is going to take a little bit to get back into the loop, to get the motivation and to just push myself to do it. So without all the talking, let's just go right into the baby stuff. I'm just going to go over baby a little bit, me, and then update you guys on the complications and issues that have been ongoing, kind of if there's anything changed or what's going on with that. A little bit of my labor plan. I know I touched on it a little bit in the last video, so I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit again. Nothing really has changed with that either, and then we're just gonna do a bump update. So to start off, I am 28 weeks today in 4 days. So in 3 days, I will be 29 weeks. I am officially in my 3rd trimester. Got like 2.5 months left or less, whenever she decides to come. Baby last week for week 27 was about the size of a lettuce. Measuring about 14 inches or so, like 14.5 inches, and weighing about 1 pound 9 ounces. And remember I said in my last video she was 1 pound and 11 ounces. So again, I'm not too sure about the weight thing. I know it has to do with percentiles and stuff like that, so nothing crazy. I know she's not like dangerously underweight. It's just something that's a little bit concerning to them. This week 28, she's about the size of an eggplant now, and a little bit bigger than 14.5 inches, almost 15, and she should be weighing at least 2 pounds now, or just a little bit over, about 2 ounces over. I will find out on not my next appointment, but the appointment after. That's when we have a growth scan and stuff again, so that's when I'll find out how much she's gained and all that good stuff. So for week 27, as far as baby's development, she was practice breathing. She still is, but she, started to do her little practice breathing for when she arrives. And she also started to learn how to suck. So she may have been sucking her thumb, kind of building those muscles so that she can breastfeed or eat off a bottle when she comes. This week, she has been developing more fat, and she is now able to start blinking and moving her eyes and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is kind of been an ongoing thing. Some of it's new, but really she's just preparing herself for her arrival, making sure she's able to kind of do all those basic functions to, you know, live when she comes, to be able to eat, to be able to breathe, to be able to see and open her eyes, and just all those little muscles and everything in her face are kind of what's, you know, forming and developing and being practiced with right now. As far as me, I'm going to start with my symptoms. There's kind of a lot. Most of these have been the same for week 27 and week 28, but some of them have gotten a little bit worse for week 28, so I'll kind of explain in detail about those specific ones as I get to them. So the first symptom that I've been experiencing is backaches. I feel like this is a pretty common symptom in pregnancy. Most people have it, if not everybody has it. A lot of people have back problems even before pregnancy, so that's definitely a big one. It's nothing too crazy, but it is sort of an uncomfortable feeling because you can't really crack your back. You can't really do much to relieve that pain. I find for me, what helps is a warm shower. Kind of just letting the shower hit on the part, like the lower part of my back, kind of helps to like relieve some of the tension. But that's pretty much all I've been able to figure out that can kind of help. Other than that, I kind of just push through. My skin and my hair. My skin has been pretty clear. I'm actually very surprised because I am having a girl, and one of the biggest known signs of having a girl is that she like takes your beauty, you know, like a boy you kind of glow, and a girl kind of takes all of the pretty traits about you and she kind of steals them for a while she's growing, and then you kind of get it all back. So like usually with a girl, your hair will be really dry, your skin will be really dry, or you'll break out, your nails will be fragile, things like that. For me, I feel like it's kind of the opposite. My skin is very clear. I don't really have any acne at all with her. I think I actually had more acne with my son. My hair was doing pretty good before, but as you can kind of tell, it's kind of drying out now. It's starting to kind of dry out. It's really shiny right now because I spray like a shiny stuff on it to help with the shine. But if I didn't put that, it would be very dull and very like just, it's kind of just, I don't even know how to explain it. You can see right here, it's just kind of poofy and frizzy and just not it. And I don't like putting a lot of stuff in my hair because it weighs it down and just doesn't really do much in my opinion. So I'm just rocking with the natural. But that's kind of been an ongoing thing for the last 2 weeks. Peeing when I sneeze and cough. Let me just say, this little girl is down there pushing on that bladder so heavily. Any little sneeze or cough, I pretty much pee myself. I wear a panty liner every day now because I got tired of having to feel like I needed to change my underwear every 20 seconds. So I wear a panty liner. That's what I do to help with it, just to catch any of the little bit of pee that comes. Also with discharge, you kind of discharge more when you're pregnant, so that's another thing I use a panty liner for, just to kind of catch any of the yuckies that come out of my lady parts. Trouble sleeping. That's been an ongoing thing for a little bit longer than the last 2 weeks, if I'm being honest. I've been having trouble sleeping for a while. And it's kind of not for just one specific reason. Like some nights it'll be one thing, the next night it'll be a different thing. Sometimes it's nausea, sometimes it's back pain, sometimes it's I just cannot get comfortable. Sometimes it's she's up and just going crazy and kind of like refuses to let me go to sleep. As you can see, those hiccup things are still a thing. I don't know what's the deal with that, but trouble sleeping has definitely been a big one. I will say it's been probably the hardest this week, week 28, for kind of all of those reasons, like the pain, The nausea isn't really that bad anymore. I take Zofran for that to kind of help, because obviously if she's having troubles gaining weight, I can't be having problems eating. That does not work well together. So the nausea doesn't really affect the sleep anymore. It's more so just the pain and the uncomfortableness. I also have a little bit of shortness of breath, especially at night when I'm trying to toss and turn and I'm trying to get comfortable. For some reason, when I try to do those tosses and turns in my bed, once I lay and I find a decent spot, I feel like I just climbed freaking 3 flights of stairs or something, you know, like I just am like, oh my gosh, I can breathe. Doing these videos, I get out of breath a little bit. I'm kind of out of breath right now, but it's not nothing crazy. Cramping is, again, it's still an ongoing thing. It's not super crazy, not super painful. It's just kind of a light, very random cramping. Just kind of right along the lower part of my abdomen where my C-section scar would have been or would be. I really just think it's just like the stretching of the muscles and everything like that. So nothing too crazy with that. I don't really have many concerns with that. My last symptom, or like big symptom I would say, is pelvic pain. Now pelvic pain is normal in pregnancy. It is very, very normal with any woman. Of course, you have a baby in your belly that's sitting right on your pelvic bone, that's sitting right on all of your organs and, you know, everything. It's just kind of in an uncomfortable spot, and it's just basically pushing all your body parts in areas that they're not usually at, and it just causes natural discomfort. However, I have OI, which is a brittle bone disease that causes me to break very easily. So when it comes to pelvic pain, for me, it's a little bit more concerning just because your pelvic bone is a bone, obviously. And pain in your bones with a bone condition is always going to be like a kind of a red flag. It's going to be something that kind of stands out and that you're concerned about. As far as the pressure, that's not really what bothers me. For me, it's more so the last 2 weeks I've been noticing that it kind of cracks. So sort of like if your back's hurting and you go and lay on a floor and that flat surface kind of like cracks your back for you. That's kind of like the feeling of it. It's not like it's not breaking. My pelvis isn't breaking or anything. But at night, for example, when I'm going to flip from one side to another and I'm, you know, lifting my leg to move it over, it'll like pop or it'll crack. And it does it a lot, and it's not a comfortable feeling, and it kind of scares me a little bit. So that's something that I did mention to my doctor the last time I was there, and we did have to mention possibly doing like a bed rest thing where I'm just not able to work. He doesn't want me like bed rest full on, not out of the bed, not doing anything. It's very bad for people who are pregnant. It actually can cause more issues to do that. But he thinks that maybe taking a break from work or just taking a little bit of the day-to-day stresses and like physical movement from my routine might kind of help. So that's something that we're discussing. It's not a for sure thing yet, but it is something that we've been discussing. But I did want to mention that, especially for anybody who watches me that has OI or is pregnant with OI or is thinking about having a child. It is normal. I did experience the pelvic pain with my son. Not so much of the like popping feeling, but I also was already on bed rest with my son. I didn't work with him. So it's just a little bit different scenario, different situation. It's nothing scary though, like to the point where I feel like I'm doing anything wrong. It's just something that, you know, you want to make sure is okay. You know, just something you want to have that confirmation, like it's all right from the doctor. So if that's something that you experience, It's okay. Just mention it to your doctor, mention your concerns, what the feelings are, and hopefully you guys can come up with something that you're both comfortable with. I'm still pretty emotional, like I said in the last video. Like just kind of like that little pregnancy roller coaster towards the end, all the hormones and getting ready for baby. The feeling is just, there's a lot of feelings going through my brain right now. So it's normal. It's definitely something that I've been experiencing though. I definitely have a much bigger appetite. Like I can eat something small and then I'm hungry again in like 30 minutes to an hour. I cannot eat big meals. I mean, I don't think any pregnant women really can eat any big meals just because your stomach kind of shrinks. She's squishing everything. So you're supposed to eat more meals, but like a smaller portion. So instead of eating 3 big meals a day, it's better to eat like 6 small meals or 6 small little portions of something. But I definitely find myself more hungry, and the hunger pain is real. When I'm hungry, it hurts. My stomach hurts. Like I feel like I'm starving and I haven't ate for like 3 weeks. So not a fun feeling. And then pregnancy brain. I definitely have that pretty bad. Everybody gets it, but mine is, whew. I forget a lot of stuff and I feel really slow sometimes. My wording is just off the walls. You can probably tell by how I talk in these videos, like I'm just kind of all over the place, and sometimes I don't really make sense even though I think I do make sense. But as far as that's pretty much all for me, for my symptoms. My cravings are still the same. I love water, I love potatoes, and I hate soda, and I can't do the beef. I can't do the ground beef. Another thing that I noticed that I don't really like is bacon. And it's not that I don't like bacon, like the taste or anything. I don't mind the taste. I actually do like bacon, but for some reason, like the texture of it, I'm very picky of. Like if it looks in any way like raw or rubbery, I can't. It has to be like pretty much burnt, crispy bacon. Like I know it's cooked. Otherwise, I cannot eat it. So that's it for me. Now onto the complications and the labor part. To just kind of touch up on that stuff. For as far as baby, I'm still going twice weekly. I go every Monday and every Thursday. Mondays we do movement check and brain activity, so making sure that her brain is functioning well and that she's still moving around in there. And then Thursdays we check the blood flow from the placenta to her to make sure that there's still blood flow, everything is still going and transferring to her the way it should be, at least as much as we can make sure. And as far as now, everything is still going great. The blood flow and everything is great. Her brain activity is great. Her movement is phenomenal. She moves a lot. She's moving right now, actually, like as I'm talking to you guys. My next growth scan, so that's where she gets measured and her weight is checked again, is November 10th, which is this Thursday that's coming up. And then I also meet with the anesthesiologist that day, so that will be the day that I find out my options as far as pain and for delivery and all that stuff, picking out the exact route in my plan. Really getting to that point of, okay, she's gonna be here soon. What do we have for options? You know, what can we do? What can't we do? What can we offer you? What can we not offer you? Just really figuring out all those super big things that you probably have been wondering for weeks at this point. I mean, I know I have. So that's what's pretty much coming up. And then as far as labor, my plan is still a VBAC or a TOLAC. Again, if you don't understand what that is, it's a vaginal birth after a C-section or a trial of labor after a C-section. Essentially, it's just more medical term for pushing a baby out naturally after you've had see, it's like pregnancy brain. After you've had a C-section, That's what that is. So that is still my plan. And as of right now, the person of choice that I have to come, like my labor partner or whatever, is going to be my best friend Cheyenne. That's really the only person that I know I would want to have there, that I know is going to be supportive and not cause me any more extra stress or anything. I have family that I could invite or have come, you know, especially like my mom and things like that, but there are just other personal things that are going on with them, or like just issues in our relationships in the past, just things that I kind of am thinking about in depth to wonder how I'm going to react in that moment. And I know when I'm in pain, I'm pretty bitchy, excuse my language. I'm not a nice person when I'm in pain, so I feel like the person that I should have with me is definitely someone who is not going to be able to trigger me very easily, and someone that I have had a lot of issues with maybe in the past. So like my mom, as much as I love her, we've bumped heads a lot, and I feel like in that moment of just being in a lot of pain and everything, it could either go really well or it could go really bad. So I just want to have somebody there that I know the chances of it being a good experience, where I have the support that I really need, is a lot higher than not. So that's pretty much all I have for this. The only other thing I'm going to mention is, I will say at this point, I do struggle with eating in the morning, and obviously, you know, you need to be eating and feeding yourself, feeding your child. So I'm gonna show you guys what I have been consuming in the morning as a kind of replacement of food. I can't really eat anything in the morning, but I did want to try to find something that was healthy and had some form of like a nutrients, and, you know, would help me with having something going into my body in the morning. So what I do is I drink the Naked like fruit vegetable drinks, pretty much like the healthy drinks. This is the Green Machine one. It has a lot of really healthy fruits and vegetables and herbs in it. I drink one of these every morning. My favorite one is the green one, just because it has not just fruit, it has like broccoli and like, you know, greens in it too, which is stuff that I need. And it's all healthy. There's no added sugars. Everything in it is natural. And it's actually pretty good. So that's usually what I drink in the morning, just to kind of make sure that I'm giving her something in the morning, because if I don't, I won't eat in the morning at all, and I won't eat until like later on in the day, and that's not good, especially for a baby that's having issues with gaining weight. So that's what I drink. If you're having problems eating in the morning, or you can't keep heavy foods down in the morning, I would try like a smoothie or something like this. Like this is like multiple fruits and vegetables in one little drink, and it does the job. She's getting her nutrients, she's getting all that stuff, and I'm not trying to force myself to eat a big old bowl of cereal or a bunch of eggs and, you know, just something big. And it's better than like eating a piece of toast. It's got a lot more better stuff in it. So I would recommend that. If you don't like this, you know, the green one, you can try like one of the fruit ones, or you could even make your own like just basic smoothie with strawberries and like stuff in it. Just something that has nutrients in it and that can fill you up a little bit. Like I said, I get hungry right away, so this usually doesn't even fill me up. It just is something to make sure that she's getting nutrients and everything. So my bump date, and then I'm out of here till we record again. So as I said before, the waddle is real. The struggle to get up is real. This is my bump. She's definitely getting up there. She's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's that bump. That pain that I was talking about is kind of like right here. That pelvic pain, it's like the bone right here. I actually am having some right here right now, so that sucks, but yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, which will be week 29, possibly week 30, depending on, you know, what's going on and if I have time to record again for my 29-week update, or if I'm gonna have to space it out like I did for this one. And then I'm gonna try to do another like just separate video at some point within the next week or two. Other than this, just because I want to keep a little bit of variety into my channel, not just make it all about the pregnancy. So with that all being said, I hope everybody is having a great day, has a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, my loves.